what are you going to say if we're attempting to explain something and it's not the explanation that is necessary? It's like sharing a sense or or no, I wouldn't say a feeling because that would imply touching or something else, but a sense of uh, of that I am, and the knowing that sort of hovers there concerning the I am, which is usually represented by on having never left here. Yeah. One time I was in the hospital and they did a like a an operation on my leg, and it was they didn't give me general, it was local anesthesia, and they built a wall so I wasn't able to look down and see what they were doing. But while I was there, I was looking into this giant, they have a giant like metal bowl with a light in there, so that obviously reflect as much light as possible on the subject. And then something just hit me, and it was such an emphatic like residue after the whack, which was it's always been this way. So in a sense, it negated all the realities I had given things and different degrees and meanings. It negated the whole aspect of what appears to be real is not real. And so I had it lingered for quite a while. Obviously, no one noticed. They were busy operating on me, and I was just laying there. But it was a pretty emphatic. It's always been this way, and in a sense, that's probably one of the clearest recognitions that's happened, because uh, it put an end to a lot of believing in a lot of things. Yeah, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. But I could see over time there was a traveling lighter that wasn't based on anything I did or was doing. It was just based on that knowledge that is before knowledge, I would say. That's my humble guess. And it's captured by that story. We talk about when I was in India, I saw Ramesh Balsekar. He was 85 at the time. I went there. I was moved by this book, Who Cares? And I wanted to check him out before he passed away, really, and just check him out. So I went there, Bombay, by myself, didn't know anyone, and showed up. And if you got there, and you were the new person, they would have you sit in a chair right in front of him, and he would ask you questions. And first thing he asked me was, "Do you have a place to live back where you're from?" I go, "Yeah." And then he asked me a couple other things, and then he went off on this rant, and basically he was he was painting a picture that was going to be more truthful than if he tried to tell the truth. So he talked about the idea of Paul being a personal, let's say, presence, and then there's the impersonal presence. And obviously, the personal presence, to appear to be that to anything or anyone, would be something that happened in time. And the impersonal presence would be of no time, or whatever else is there when there is no time. Yeah. So, and he said, "All right, so you have a place to live, Paul. When you go to work, do you forget that you have a place to live?" And I said, "No." He says, "Do you have to chant, 'I have a home, I have a home, I have a home,' to counteract the visual experience of being at work?" I said, "No, I don't." And he says, "Well," then I went off on it myself later on. And I said, "All right, let's say if you have to stay overtime, would more time convince you you didn't have a home because you're at work?" "No, probably not." "All right. Now, let's say you have to work in Europe and you're living in America. So would space convince you, more space, that you don't have a home when you're at work? No. And so there's a knowledge there that you have a house. It's not doesn't have to be memorized or repeated or gone over. It's just there in whatever's going on. There's a knowledge that you have a house, no matter if you're at work or whatever, doing this or that. Yep. This is sort of the sense of presence in a way. This to me is, there's the I am, and then there's the know, and the know is that. Yeah. And when I sensed it the first time strongly, and I was in a space where it could stand out amongst the noise and everything else, I was at a satsang. I felt like this was a knowledge before knowledge, or a knowing before knowledge. This is something I'm trying to convey. So there's everyone has this aspect available because we aren't any ones. Yeah. So and that knowing doesn't have an opposite. It's not combating or complementing a non-knowing. It's just knowing through the knowing and non-knowing. Yeah. Knowing through the duality of things, how things appear here. Yes. Because here something can appear to be true and it can appear to be false. This is not from that. It's not of that. Yeah. And this is what I feel like when the knowledge sort of sets in. I mean, the message of non-duality sets in. And how I felt the foundation wasn't made or built, it was just available, was to see what is not the foundation. Yeah. Looking for the foundation as the foundation doesn't work, obviously. The looking for it would be a denial of of being the foundation. Yes, obviously. That action of looking for it as the foundation would be an act of denial of being the foundation. It's just the way it goes. It doesn't matter what you're called at the top of the pimple. It's a pimple, so to speak. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if it's Paul doing it or someone else is doing it. It's just off. Yeah. So this is like an unsuspected inner resource we talk about in AA. It means that the resource is already there. It's just something is living as if it's not there. Yeah. There's an unsuspected, based on what's directing us and what we seem to be involved with in time, which is this idea of being the doer, the thinker, the feeler, the taster, the toucher, pictured as a body. Yeah, basically. So as the Course says, firm in faith in this something else your head has made to be yourself is the act of denial of what you are. Yeah. So the diagnosis isn't you're an active denial of what you are. The diagnosis in negation is firm in faith in this something else that your head has made to be yourself. The Course says you made it. I don't believe you made it. So I changed it. So yes, there's something else the head has made to be yourself. Okay? Firm in faith in that, you're in the active denial of what you are. If you come up to anyone who's firm in faith in that, they will not say, I'm in the active denial of what I am. To me, it's more like they're affirming what they are. This is the belief, yes? But in fact, the opposite effect is occurring. You're denying what you are by being with the head is denying what we are with this obsessiveness concerning this idea of you as the doer, thinker, feeler, taster, toucher. And it's very difficult, I've noticed, because I live in a community that has gone an extreme length in obsession with self, an extreme ideation of self. It's actually turned into a disease for people, and they call it alcoholism. Yeah. But the root of it is an excessive obsession with self, or an excessive concern with you, to such a point it becomes a disease here. Yeah. And so this has gone so far, there's a lot of valuable information in it. You can see a whole lot that you may not be seeing in your daily life if you look at a life of an alcoholic. First of all, the alcoholic usually is the last person to know they're an alcoholic, which is fucking amazing, literally. Yeah. Their cousins know, the aunts know, the police meeting you for 5 minutes know, the fucking doctor knows you're a junkie. Everyone knows, but you don't seem to be in, in the know. Now that's incredible. Yeah, I feel. So there's a hugely strong denial of something. And really, the root of that denial is denial. It's the denying of what you are. Yeah. It's just an example of it. It's sort of like you take the same two, dice and you roll it. No matter what number comes up, there's the same two dice. Yeah. It's 11 or 6 or 2 ones, but there's always going to be the same 2 dice throwing and changing with all the numbers. Well, this ideation or this obsession with this idea of self is the denial of our true nature. Yeah, just put it that way. And so with alcoholism, it goes to such an extent, different things grow. And one of them is a disease called alcoholism and addiction. And basically, if you've ever known someone who's addicted, they're quite influential. In other words, when you go to Thanksgiving this next month, the person they're going to talk about the most is the person who's not there, the fucking alcoholic. Yeah. So basically, it's always going to be sucking the life out of everything, just the way it goes. Yeah. So firm in faith, and there's something else the head is making to be ourselves. We're in the active denial of what you are. That's the dualistic cause and effect here. Yeah. One thing occurs and it produces another effect. Now, we get confused. And so Ramana Maharshi puts it very clearly. And it's usually presented as the problem or the greatest mystery. And he says, listen, there's a presupposing of this non-existent thing being the existent thing. Let's put it that way, yeah? And then when the non-existent thing is taken to be the existent thing, it now wants to get salvation for itself as the existent thing, which salvation would be from the existing thing. Because the existent thing is only an idea. So the salvation is readily available because there's no existent thing. There's a non-existent thing. Yes. So there's a presupposing of this non-existent thing. What the hell does that mean? It means before you do anything, this idea of a non-existent thing being the existent thing is presupposed. Yeah. So the selfing is quicker than any other reaction or response. Yeah. So the selfing responds to conscious contact and inserts this non-existent thing as the existent thing. Yeah. And we basically wake up not to the non-existent thing, but as the non-existent thing in time. Yeah. Because in time, there's something called a pause, which doesn't seem to have any existence. And then time starts, and then there seems to be a lot of existent things running around. And so those existent things are not existent things, obviously. They're non-existent things, but it's going to be very difficult to see that through the lens of time because you're going to be already established as the non-existent thing, looking at or trying to find the non-existent thing. It's just, I don't see how you can beat it, really. And this is the beauty, because while we seem to be a product of time, we're not of time. So the awareness that is our nature is not of time. So the awareness didn't start, and therefore nothing can be presupposed before it. Yeah. So nothing can be presupposed before the awareness. So the awareness sees the presupposing of the non-existent thing to be an existing thing. It sees it. You finally get the message. Yeah. You don't get it in time. It may be delivered in time, but you truly get it out of time. Yeah, that's why it's an aha or like an instant recognition, because it doesn't have the entrails or the tail of time. Yeah, the TAIL of time. Yeah? So you see it, bing. Yeah, and then obviously that seeing it entering into time is claimed, and then suddenly the seer of it is presupposed before the seeing. Yeah. So now you're in the active denial of the seeing as the seer. Yes. Even though without seeing there would be no seer, the seer is the active denial actually of the seeing. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What are you going to do? You don't have to do shit. Just see it. Yeah. From awareness. When you think you saw it as the seer, you never get it, do you? You tasted it, and then a second later, you can't, you try to define it or, describe it to someone, you just can't get it. It's like, you heard the party was great, and when you get there, it sucks. You just can't be there and have it. It's just impossible, which is fantastic. It is. The greatest success here is what fails us. What fails us brings about the greatest success, because you stop relying on what's not reliable, and you find yourself finally, and it doesn't matter in timelessness, finally doesn't matter. Oh, I wasted so much time and I finally, no, that gets all erased, because that value is only based in time. So this is not, we're not trading the currency of time. Yeah. This is a timeless fact. It doesn't change by what comes after it, and there's nothing before it. Yeah. So your head can presuppose as much as it wants, but it cannot presuppose itself before this. It can seem to in time, but the negation of time is readily available at all time, because all time happens in no time. Yeah. So every bit of time is happening in a space of no time. So you can see time from timelessness, if I'm just using a word to imply something. Yeah. And that seeing may only happen, let's say, for a second, but the lasting effect of it can be unbelievable. It can lead to something that couldn't be convinced to be overridden by a convincing. Yeah. It's great. Fantastic. And then what? I don't know. You just live your life and see what happens. Yeah. It's funny. You'll probably go in and out of what you used to call an epiphany. And you won't write about it, and you won't call up anybody, and you won't have to wait for your partner to come home to tell her about it. These things will just be silent events that you find yourself in, and then you find yourself in tons of events. Yeah. But there's something that overrides all the things that would be peak experiences and shit like that. I like to call it ordinary dog shit awareness. Yeah. I just love it because it doesn't have a lot of, it's shorn of the whistles and the bells. Yeah. It's just on completely at all times. Not bad. It's sort of like your head likes to follow different notes, but the underlying bass line really is never even heard by the head because it's never not there. Yeah. The head can hear shit because it didn't hear shit before, but what's always playing, it doesn't notice. Yeah. So there you go. Happy to be here. And yeah, And whatever you do after it, just realize, the ineffectiveness of that which comes after, if you're established in the imaginary before, because that before is going to infect what comes after. So whatever you do after it, it's going to present itself as the doer of it, yeah, which is going to negate the effects of what you're doing, especially if you believe you're doing shit to get out of being the doer. It's probably not going to work, yeah. And so all of these failures that people sometimes, we had a friend here, Justin, who said, hey, I'm never going to get it, can be like another fucking recognition that you're just going to beat the hell out of yourself over, or I'm never going to get it can be a hallelujah, yeah. It's just how there's what response there is. That's why no thing can quantify the response from the mind about it. The mind can use whatever it wants to do whatever it wants, the big M mind, yeah. So I don't believe there's any stable, stagnant meanings to anything, really. It's really always an interpretation. Yeah. And so seeing that, just being aware of this stuff brings about a shift of interest and attention that you could never imagine or point at or draw a map of how you would like your interest and attention to move from one thing and go to another thing. It doesn't go that way, yeah? You just find out because you're awake. You find out things are changing, not because you're before and doing the changes, but you're really at the effect of the changes. And then there's an observation of it and you notice it, yeah? And then after time, you may come to a conclusion, I seem to be traveling lighter. A very humble statement, has a lot of vagueness to it. You don't know how, you don't know why, but you just see you're traveling lighter and you realize what I thought in my head traveling lighter would look like, which everything goes my way, which is not how it goes. Everything goes its way. And I fit myself around the circumstances instead of trying to fit them around me all day. Yeah. So traveling lighter is exactly what it means, traveling lighter. You may be going through something heavy. You may be going through something light, but you're going to travel lighter through it. Yeah. What more do you want? And then you can come back to this Zoom and say you're a master of something or doing that. Great. Become a master artist or a painter, and you'll wear the title loosely. Yes. Yeah. You'll see there's mastering, but there is no master. You see there's a lot of directing, but there is no director. Yeah. 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 And now the idea of being the noun is weakened, and you live more as a verb, which is actually much more appropriate because you are a verb, so to speak, yeah, as an appearance. Do you remember when you first appeared? And are you going to remember when you disappear? No. Your mother and father had to tell you what happened. You don't need no shit. For a couple of years, you were out to lunch, seemingly. You were beautified completely because there was no one home. And then when you die, the only people who are going to experience your death are other people than you. You're gonna pop out like you popped in. Yeah, unbeknownst to the papa. I'm never gonna miss 1 second. Boom, you die. You missed that second. I've been here the whole time. No. Let me finish the sentence at least. Your life gets stopped halfway between the sentence. I was making a vow. It's like a thief in the night. Yes. Shit, yeah. It came in and it leaves. Yeah. See, that which is always there doesn't give a shit who comes in or leaves because it's not affected by it. Believing that we came in, we're super afraid of leaving. Thank God it isn't you. Yes. Yeah. It's so funny. People who live really a full life, they don't seem to be that upset about dying. It's the people that haven't been living are super afraid of dying. They're finally it's hitting them. They've missed out on something. It's too late. The voice box, the last pull. Yeah. Never to be heard from again. Hallelujah. So, yes. Okay, anyone wants to jump in today? It's like winter today in Northern California. I mean, we start getting insulated jackets when it's 55 degrees. This is seeming cold to us. Got the socks on, shit like that. All right. Who's ever? Oh, Kerry. If
Yes,
anyone
sir.
hands up, no.
I don't know why I have this suspicion that Mr. may have a something. Mr. May?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can hear a gorgeous coming. I can hear it. It's cooking up. Yeah. Come on, Craig.
No,
Up in
that's
everyone.
that basis you're talking about, Paul. To me, I think it's sort of, I think of it as space, like space, and that's the
Hey,
basis. Yeah, like space.
I thought you
That's
said spice. I was going spice. Spice. Oh no, space. Thank you. I saw. I thought we entered a cooking show. Spice. No space. Yeah.
space. Yeah, and like that foundation. When you throw an anchor in there, when you lower your anchor in that place, um, it's very hard to get shifted from there. So when the head pops up and starts percolating away, you just see it as an appearance within that space. It's just a very small little appearance within that space. And even like feelings, there's really no feelings, there's just feeling because the labels drop. So you're not labeling a feeling bad or good or pleasant or unpleasant. That drops. So it's just instead of the ups and downs, these rigid ups and downs, it's a flow. There's no feelings, there's just feeling. There's just a flow of feeling. And this you can't surf. This you can surf. You can surf on that because what you're surfing on isn't you, but you're the surfer of feeling, not feelings. When those labels drop, even when you're out there and you see a tree, you don't the word tree doesn't pop in your head. You just see an expression. You see something expressing itself. So it's really lovely when the labels drop. Even when you're out there, it's incredible how more interesting and more colorful and more spicy things become when those labels drop. It becomes so much more interesting. Everything does. A blade of grass, the way the sun hits the grass. It's beautiful. It's so much more of a flow. That's the way I like to that's the way that sort of it feels. And the flow has flavor and color in it. It ebbs, it moves, it expresses itself. It's quite, it's beautiful, very gorgeous. and you're just there sucking it all up. And if something comes in that isn't pleasant, our tendency is to recoil from that. I think that's a big mistake. I think you lean into it. You lean into it, you take a big deep breath and you suck it up and you feel it. You feel it. You allow yourself to feel that. And the more you do that, I think with unpleasant things or whatever, that duality breaks down. It dissolves. That's what it does. It dissolves. And then there's no unpleasant feeling. There's no pleasant feeling. There's just feeling. And it just flows. And you're just open. You're just open to what turns up. And the most mundane things, there's such beauty in, potential mundane things. because you're here, because you're completely here, you're not referring to the past or the future, then the head's not making something out of anything. It's like you said, verbing. It's just moving. Shit's just happening. That's all. It's just a lovely little gorgeous movement.
But Craig, also there's a movement of the head making stuff out of it, which is a part of the whole movement. Yeah.
Yeah, and you see that. You see that.
So you see it as part of the whole. You don't see it as an observing separate point of view. Yeah. And so basically that which would hear the description of flowing, and then claim to be the one who's going to start flowing. You see that as part of the flowing. There's nothing that's out of the river in this manifestation. There's nothing that's sitting on the shore observing it not being wet. Yeah. And is observing all the wetness. No. All of that activity of the observer is as submerged in that flow as anything else is.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just negate the idea of that separate, long-lasting, independent identity, that observer, that above the fray, the witness, or whatever. I don't like those terms. Yeah. And all of that's in the mix. All of it. Yeah. And so you feel the contraction of the head when it claims something, and you feel the expansion of the head when it's not taken seriously. Yeah. So it goes with the same. Yeah. Everything is basically pulsing at the exact same frequency in a weird way, or the same baseline. And this idea of thinking there's something separate, long-lasting, and independent is just part of the verbing. It's not standing above or below, or it's not getting assaulted by it, or not, trying to manage it. It's all of that stuff is in the. If you looked at the fabric of life, it would be twisted with all the other fabrics. It's not standing apart. Yes. Yeah, so you get to see the gorgeousness of that in a way, because it so much wants to break out of everything to be a special something, yeah, to the point where it knows that cannot happen, so it says it already has happened. Yeah, see, this is the trick about presupposing. It uses time to manufacture a history that it doesn't have. So it implies, when it claims the verbing as the verbing, but as something not the verbing, this idea of the noun, the presupposing of this noun comes with a seeming history of being a noun concerning all the verbing. See, this is the flavor of it. This is how it limits our possibilities, because it's not like, I'm not that, so therefore I'm not going to become that. No, it has us believing we already are that. And the only possibility is trying to be not that. And people take go to great lengths trying not to be that with drug addiction and everything else, yeah, or spiritual addiction. But the fact is that misunderstanding and that response is off, yeah, it's off. That's why this message is very disarming. You see it, and then you see the reaction to it, and then maybe you see the reaction to that, yeah. And the idea of the history is complete baloney. You get a strong feeling with it, yeah, even though that which is made by that feeling can't get a strong feeling concerning it. You do. You see something, yeah. You see that self, the idea of self is arising from the claiming of the perpetual verbing. That's all, yeah. It wasn't there before, and it's not there now, and it won't be there later, truly. So it's truly captured by a verb called selfing, yeah, which is no different than any other verbing, yeah, other than the way we hear it. We give it a supremacy, a position that it doesn't have, yes, by some kind of, hey, I'm enjoying this, and then it goes, yeah. Thank God its breath can only go 80 years or something. It can't, yeah, it's nothing in timelessness, but when you're seemingly living as that, it can be a fucking real drag. So, yeah. Yeah. That's why I just like to throw that in, because that verb will try to play the noun again and think, all right, I've got to let everything verb and shit like that. But it's never, it's like something that never, it's like a recipe that's never made. It's just mixed all the time. Yeah. It never becomes a muffin. It's just mixing, selfing. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, the value of it is really based on the interest in it.
Yeah.
And if you see it as not you, there's going to be a loss of interest in it. Yeah. Even if you don't think so, there is. Because even if you're faking it with the idea it's not you, even in your faking it, you're actually correct. So it has power, no matter if you think, oh, I don't get it. It doesn't matter. You've hit the lotto. You hit the winning number. You're not that. That's, I swear. And it's going to ring no matter what. And the ringing won't be where, on your surface level. It's going to come from below, so to speak, because you put your money for the first time on the right number. You're a winner, And then the head loves to back out of it. Wait a minute. I want to take my money off that square. I want to go back to Buddhism. No, I don't want non-duality. It's too late. Something has been revealed. Yes. It's like we say in AA. You go to AA, and if you leave, it ruins your drinking. Because now you can't drink because you know better, but it doesn't. A lot of your drinking had to do with denying its effects, and now suddenly you can't seem to deny it, so it sort of sucks, Yeah. So, nice to see you, Craig. I'm always happy to see you.
You too, mate. You too.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy. Stick with us, and our voices combined make a very loud noise, so it's great.
Who wants to, the Beatles made better music together than they did apart.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. That's why satsang. It's company of truth, yes, association with truth. Yeah, there's no one's named in that. It's satsang. It's not sitting with Paul. It's that sound. Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. So, all right. Anyone else there, Kerry?
There's no hands up.
All right. I'm going to start saying hello to people. Wendy V, I'm happy you're making it here. Yes.
Thank you, Paul. Listening to you. Thank you so much. Glad you're here.
Yes. Yeah,
Thank
your fireplace is open, so receive the logs. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Seriously, I saw that. Yeah, Zoe, as always. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I was going to say something, but I don't know if my internet is good enough. Can you hear me?
It sounds good. You're just reverbing a little.
I just love the description of the incessant onness that's just been going around and around. The incessant onness. It's always on, always. And there's no one who turns it on.
No. Most people are hoping for it to be off, really. Yeah, their idea of more on would be off. Yeah. I don't mind if it's on for 5 minutes during the day. I don't want it to be on 24 hours a day. Fuck. So let me make a 10-minute time where I sit still in the presence. I can't bear thinking I'm in the presence 24 hours. Fuck. That's way too much. I'll give it 10 minutes, 3 times a day. That's all I can take. And I take that, and it allows the head to deny I'm in the presence the next 23 hours and 45 minutes. No. Listen, that's what we're really looking for. The head. The head is really looking for it. It thinks a pretty good deal. I give 15 minutes, I get 23 hours and 45 minutes. I'll do that every day. Yeah. Sit down. You can even expand it to 8 minutes of sitting. But what if you're always awake at all times? Wow. Sitting, lying, standing up. The only difference it makes is to the body. It doesn't make any difference to awareness. You're sitting, you're just, I mean, space doesn't sit down. Space doesn't lay down, doesn't stand up. Space doesn't take any space. Space doesn't need a special space to contact space. Unless it thinks it's something other than space. Then it needs a peaceful environment. That's the dog shit awareness. Dog shit awareness doesn't have cushions, doesn't have beautiful polished wood floors, doesn't have a bell that rings in a quiet room. It's just dog shit awareness. You're on constantly, 24/7, no matter what you think. What allows you to come and go at night and in the morning is what we are. What we're not can come and go quite easily. Its whole dance has been coming and going. Birth, death, yeah. And then all day it thinks it's coming and going. I'm disconnected, I'm connected, I'm out, I'm here, I'm there, I'm there. It's completely chock full of coming and going. All the while, all that coming and going is appearing in that which doesn't come and go, aka us, yeah. I'm going to take a moment to remember myself. No, you don't need to be remembered. You are. Yeah, 24/7. The head wants to forget. That's the whole fucking point. It wants to forget as much as possible. So it has a story. All right, I'm going to take some time out to be with me. implying that all the other time I'm being as that. Yeah. It throws us a 15-minute bone. That's fucking, that's like a crumb of a crumb. Yeah. You're not ready. You need to purify more. You're not ready. Your back isn't straight. You can't do a full lotus. Fuck that. Your knees are shot. Oh, you can't. You're gonna lose some credit by sitting in a chair. It's not like sitting full lotus. My legs can't do it. You're disqualified. It can only come through a fucking straight spinal. Da 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 da. You're bent. You've been hanging over looking at your fucking phone for so long. You gotta like a bend. They're gonna find these skeletons and they're gonna surmise what was going on. It was all these people looking at these screens. They're gonna have like special chiropractors. Let me adjust you from 20 years of looking at your iPhone. They'd be out of the Zen temple in a second. They would have gotten hit with the stick already. Yeah. What are you going to do? Yeah. What was the difference before you entered, during you enter, when you're entered, and then when you leave? Has the basis changed at all with all the comings and goings? Have all the comings and goings ever produced a leaving? What is? And would they if you did more coming and going? In other words, 800 comings and goings, yes, they will fail, but 1,000 comings and goings will break the back of what never comes and goes. No, obviously. There can be billions of comings and goings. Nothing changes. Yeah. But where would the value be is to see that in your day, that nothing changes. Not for millions of years or forever, but actually travel later on that basis today. Yeah, that's the point. Here in time. Yeah. It's not to have this mystical idea that you can sit in a certain place with certain people and enjoy it as a topic. I mean the action of like all-terrain traction, where, you can travel lighter through whatever happens. Yeah. Even though it may not look like you're even traveling lighter, there's something that never gets disputed. It's now a fact. Yeah. All the knowing and the not knowing doesn't pierce this knowing. It doesn't, because this knowing isn't coming from the surface. It's generated from the I am. Yeah. So it's I am and then this knowing. It's not this knowing trying to get close to the I am. It's very, very, it seems to be connected in my sense. And it's a knowing without knowledge. It's just something, you get something and bammo. Yeah. Instantaneous, erases tons of bullshit that was built up in time. Yeah. So, and you recognize the action figure is in the world of coming and going, obviously. Yeah. And it worries as if it's in the world of coming and going. And it translates everything to the world of coming and going. And all of its concerns are based on the world of coming and going. So it's afraid of losing what it has or not getting what it wants, which is something it had left, something it doesn't want comes. Yeah. It doesn't like the slings and arrows of the comings and goings. It looks for stability and alwaysness, and it's not available. Yeah. Can't blame it. It's just thinking from the box that it's defined as. But you can see it's not you. You can. And really, compassion and mercy, and maybe you'll just laugh with it at times when it takes itself so seriously. And it will break. It will. Yeah. It will. It will start laughing with you. It will. Because you'll see the fucking futility of trying to be not that which comes and goes as that which comes and goes. It just doesn't work. Yeah. So that to me is the message, really. Observe what you're not, and then the conclusions that are presented non-duality, you'll probably arrive there. Yeah. If you observe and look at what you're not, you're going to arrive at the conclusion of what non-duality is, which is being ourselves reality. And hopefully that gets cleared up, even on a surface level, which is helpful. Of course, it's super clear because it's the fact. But here, where you can seem to be awake or seem to be not awake, it's nice to seem to be awake. Yeah. So you have certain things that have been convinced in the action figure. Like in my case, I'm not managerial quality. And yeah, and I'm fucked when I'm drinking and using, basically. Those things were facts, but I wasn't living as if they were facts, and it didn't work well. And when I started living as if those were facts, because they were facts, things started to get clear. Blue started to appear as blue, red started to appear as red, because I took some of the basic facts of my life and I lived with them as facts. Yes. And it's been easier going ever since. Well, there's an underlying fact that we are, yeah, that can bring an overriding effect on what we're not. It can, just because of its nature. So that incessant onness doesn't smell, it doesn't sweat like that which comes and goes. It doesn't have the concerns that which comes and goes have. It doesn't. It doesn't see like that which comes and goes. It doesn't think at all. It's just something completely foreign in a way. Yeah. And no matter how much that which comes and goes would like to know it, it can't know it, because its knowledge is defined by that which comes and goes. It cannot recognize that which is. It can't. I don't care how much you say or chant or shit like that. The action figure doesn't get it. Yeah. Fantastic. It's great news. Yeah. So you stop punishing it and torturing it for not fucking getting it after 4 weeks of a very expensive meditation retreat. Yeah. And you're not going to swallow the answer is take a 6-week retreat. No, it's not going to fucking work. And do as much as you want or more. If it's claimed as the action figure, it's going to be held as an action figure, and it's going to be thought about as if it can come and go. So the true value of nothing in this world of something cannot be noticed, because you're going to act as if you can lose that which you cannot lose, or you can get that which you cannot get. Yeah. And if you get what you cannot get, you're sure to be worried about losing what you cannot get. Yeah. Yeah. So we're not talking to the action figure. We're talking about the action figure. Yeah. We are. We're talking about that which comes and goes, and we are including it in it. It's not sitting on the river at the shore observing and not believing it's wet. Yeah. No. The action figure is completely immersed in the dreaming. Completely. Yes? Yeah. So, yeah. It's nice to see. You see its limitations, and that implies your unlimitedness. Yeah? You see its comings and goings, and that implies you're not coming and going. You see it disconnected and then connected. That implies the incessant onness that we are. It's through negation, the affirmation becomes fucking palpable to us, seemingly. Yeah? Yeah. So non-duality, not two, is negation. Yeah? If it was oneness, it would be affirmation. It's not oneness. It's not two. which is negation. Yes? Why? Because you are what you're looking for. You are the affirmation you're trying to affirm. You're trying to affirm it is coming from what you're not. You don't need to affirm what you are. You're being what you are. You need to negate what you're not. Yes? How do you do that? You don't. You just see it. Yeah. Do I need glasses? No. You may need them temporarily, but awareness is more than enough. Yeah. Yeah. Where am I going to get that awareness? You don't have to get it. You are it. Yeah. When's the best day to look for there's no best day. Any moment will do. The awareness doesn't fluctuate. And it's best on Wednesday. And then Saturday takes a dip because there's a lot of shows on Netflix or something. You know what I mean? It's not like, I'm not in the rhythm today. When's the best rhythm? Where's the best feng shui? Fuck that. It's now. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't feel like I'm a good conductor. Of course you don't. Yeah, but you're not that. That which is saying it, you're not. I don't think I'm ready. Of course you're not. I don't think I can handle it. Definitely you won't. You can't handle it. Yeah. That provokes fear. Who has the fear? Not you. Oh, the system is anxious. Yes, the system is very anxious. Why do you keep acting as if you're anxious? Yeah. It's like the spaceman takes itself to be the spacesuit. It's way too much. The spacesuit is responding to an outside, let's say, atmosphere that it's not clear about, and it's having its fucking narration. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. You're not. Yes. What is that thing in the Course in Miracles? The attack thoughts are attacking your invulnerability. So I don't think you can acquire invulnerability, nor can you lose invulnerability. Do you believe that? Do you believe you bought some invulnerability? And if you don't pay it off, you're going to lose the invulnerability? I would say that's of your nature, yes? So your attack thoughts, anytime, any place, there's an immunity to those attack thoughts based on your invulnerability to attack, yes? Not an acquired immunity, but an inherent immunity. Yeah. When is it going to be up and able to? Now. How much energy do I have to put in it? None. It's here. Yeah. Does it need my assistance? Please, no. Just sit back. I can't. Yes. Well, you're not that. Yes. Of course, an action figure is prone to act. Yes. That's its prescribed nature. It's an action figure. It looks at being and it's asked itself, what do I need to do? It doesn't get it. Yeah. It doesn't get it. The being should neutralize the doing, but not to the action figure. The action figure, all right, I'm reading about being. What do I do? Where's the fucking instruction? It's describing what you are. I can't get that. All right, let's describe what you're not. That works, yeah, because it's included there. So nice to see you, Zoe. Incessant onness, yes. That's why people, they can make movies like Die Hard and make 7 versions, and people are still going to watch it because they just don't. They'll do anything not to be here. They will. I mean, I watch people scrolling constantly on phones. They don't even stop for more than 5 seconds. just the whole activity is just the scrolling. Nothing grabs your interest longer than 7 seconds? Wouldn't you stop and go, hey, I'd like to, what? Another one shows up. It's really, the wording is correct. Feed. There's a feeding. Yeah. There's a feed and you're being fed. Yeah. The topics aren't important. It's the scrolling. It's the engagement on and on and on and on and on. Yeah. It puts off the inevitable day of reckoning. You are what's looking. And even that can't do it. Yeah. Narcissus with a mobile pond is still going to realize there's no Narcissus. I don't care if the pond's vertical, looking at it all day. It's not going to win. Yeah? Yes. Has anything ever affected your inherent nature? Yeah. After the worst thing you ever saw, did you stop seeing for about a half an hour or something? Yeah, I mean the worst thing you ever saw. Was there any lag? I'm not seeing. Something must have over. No, it was seeing just as much on the worst day that you thought you had, and that as the best day. Yes, it doesn't seem to have any volition or discrimination, does it? Hmm? It almost would seem like we're totally irrelevant to it. It never stops and asks me if, do you want to see this, Paul? You sure you want to hear this, Paul? And nothing, it never, no, I don't get a public announcement. This may not be good for your mental health, Paul. No, it just. And it is not what shows up and says you shouldn't have saw it or you shouldn't have heard it. That's the fucking head. Yeah. that thing that's open with no borders doesn't act like you're bound 2 seconds later. That's not you talking. It's not you talking. So, all right. Thanks, honey. It's always a pleasure to see you, Zoe. Yeah. And everyone else, Kerry and Wendy and Jed, finally known as John, and everyone else. Yeah. I'm going to say, if we don't have any questions, I'm going to say goodbye. Rob, my friend in Helma. Rob, I need to make an amends to you. I should have made more of an effort to call you back, but I didn't. So there you go. As a person.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah. As what I am, I felt it was probably best not to. So you can dangle a little longer.
No, I always know the lack of response is the response sometimes, in the sense of
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll give you a bye for that. Usually if you don't respond, you always been reachable, Paul, when I needed you. So sometimes, like I said, the lack of response is a response to me, for me to sit with it myself, for me to carry the load myself to, this type of thing. So yeah, so it's all
the best. Yes, it's sort of like, I learned in recovery working with lots of people which is sometimes you do a disservice to someone by trying to keep them from a bottom. Yeah. Because the bottom is going to be the prescribed effect that's necessary for something else to bubble up. It's just the way it goes here a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when someone starts to cry, you say, oh, it's okay. It's like, let them cry, type thing. Let them go through it. So no, it's all good, man. I don't not taking it personal, but love to check in with you and connect when you have some time.
All right. Yes.
All right, man. Lots of love. Thanks for the laughs and so forth. It felt good to hear the message and the reminders and I picked up Ramana Maharshi's book recently, and so I've been going through that, and it's just, seeing the influence of that in your teachings and so forth, and how
Yes.
simple it is, and it's been, yeah, I like his one stories I just read over again, which was about the lamp, and then the sun comes out, the lamp's not necessary, the lamp being the mind, and or the
Yes.
mind being the moon, it's the reflection, and then when the sun's up, you can still see the moon in the sky, but it's useless, it's not doing anything. So
Yes.
that simple story was like, oh yeah, it's just like the self, or the big S,
Hey, there's
when that, yeah.
India has a vast treasure trove of parables.
Yeah, that one's got me though. I was like, oh yeah, yeah,
That's why they have a vast treasure of parables.
yeah,
They know one at least is going to get you.
yeah. So
The rope and the snake and everything else. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All
So
right, good.
I always appreciate the stories, the laughs, and the pointers, guidance.
Yeah.
So
All right, bro.
you
All
see
right.
more of me, I'll be hanging around more now. So
All right, brother. Good.
all right.
We got John in Florida. Yes. Always a pleasure, John. David down under. Rico Cruz. Craig May. Hey, by the way, we're going to be back east November 15th to the 20th in Dover, New Jersey. I don't know what, I think I'm mostly going to do stuff in Dover, but we're going to put it up on the website, and we may have one extra meeting on Sunday afternoon somewhere. But yeah, just it's going to be up there, and it's all non-duality and recovery mixed, and yeah. So if you want to see me, though, you may have to come to Dover. I'm not going to be driving around as much this time. Yeah. All right. So, hey, Craig May, always a pleasure, bro. Yeah. We got Gio. Nice to see Gio. He's really down under in Brazil. Yeah. Sherry, entrenched in San Diego, having a nice day. Nice to see you, honey. Shannon Corkery. That's all I can say. Rick Rowe, Toronto. Yeah, let me know as we go on, bro. Just closer to that day. Mike G, he's down in LA. Anu, there she is. Frank, looking for mayonnaise for his ham and cheese. Steve in San Diego, yes. He's watching the birds of interest migrate from the little the poop-laden island of Steve. Yes. They've left, bro. Good. Alan Olson. He's sleeping. He's getting it through osmosis. Very powerful way. Yeah. The best way is to sleep on your left ear so it can, or your right ear comes in the left ear faster, just to tell you. Yeah. Kathleen Garrett. I'll be seeing you. I know I will now. Yes. Yeah. I'll be seeing you in Dover, New Jersey. Yes. I think so. She's not moving.
Yes, she has internet problems earlier. Oh, there she's moving.
She's alive. Good. William. Nice to see you, Mr. Stamps. Zoe, as always. Kerry, thank you for the help with this. We got Wendy V. Pleasure. John K. I got you. Susanna W. Spoke to her today. Amelia's phone. She's right here with Nor. Cassandra. Thank you for being here, Cassandra, holding this space. I think Andrew, Fletch, Mia. She's in, I think, Greece still. We got Anand Sindhu. What a beautiful name. Yes. Everyone, thank you for coming. Appreciate it. Yes. Yeah. All right. See you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Paul. Thank you.